To me, authentic leaders are people who have worked hard at understanding who they are, but also where they fit in the world, and also really have worked hard at developing a strongly humanistic approach to their work as leaders. Now, I don't necessarily think that's an easy thing to do, and I think it probably takes a lot of focused effort to get there, and perhaps not everyone is suited to be an authentic leader. And I also want to stress, and I think this is important because a lot of the rhetoric around leadership, whether it's transformational leadership or authentic leadership or servant leadership or some other form of leadership, almost presents these ideal kinds of leaders as saints. And I'm quite troubled by that because most of us, and myself included, are simply not saints and simply aren't going to become saints, and we're all flawed. And so I'd like to think that servant leadership or servant leaders are people who have done that hard work in developing that humanistic approach, but can still function in that way without being almost, one of these saintly kind of characters that the leadership research and theory seems to suggest, and a lot of the leadership books and speakers around leadership almost suggest they are. I think it's just unachievable to become a saint. I don't think it's a practical goal to set for people, and I think we all need to be comfortable, authentically comfortable with our own weaknesses and failings as humanists. The other question, and I guess it kind of links to what I've just said, is really about, well, what's the biggest lesson I've ever learned in leadership? And I actually, well, it's a pretty easy question for me to answer. I think it's really about having the courage to be authentically who I am as a leader in an Australian organisation. I'm not an extrovert. I'm not especially competitive. I'm not a hardhead. I'm not an economic rationalist. There's a lot of things that probably see me not necessarily fit in a particularly neat way in the pantheon of Australian corporate leadership or university leadership or any other kind of leadership. And I guess I learnt that simply by just discovering, firstly, that I didn't need to apologise for the kind of person I am, and I really didn't have to pretend to be someone else. And when I decided to actually do that, nothing terrible happened. So that's it. Thank you.